When I think about West Dallas Community School, when I think about what this school offers to families who face generational poverty or to students who have challenges of trauma or difficult backgrounds, that should stop them in their tracks. West Dallas offers the kind of education, the kind of formation that takes in the whole person and trains them up, not just to give them a handout to kind of get by, but rather to take upon themselves the challenge of making steps forward in their life. And at West Dallas, the doors begin to open, not because we're opening them per se, but because we're giving the students a structure and a place to learn how to push through those doors.
I was here doing an evaluation for my older two sons. I had Anne-Marie with me, and Michael and Amelia were going through some testing, and Ms. Howard started talking, and then we couldn't find Anne-Marie here in the building. And we looked around everywhere for her, and Miss Howard was like, "Miss Rios, come over here." And then we go, and she's in the chapel on the stage singing, and Miss Howard was like, she needs to come here.
Anne-Marie is one of the best students I've ever taught in so many ways, but she had this internal drive to push past difficult things, persevere, and a desire to be excellent at everything she did.
She got along well with everyone in the class. She was kind. She loved to play with the girls, but she also didn't mind being competitive and playing some of the rougher games with the boys.
She really loved learning. She was excited to learn. She really had a passion for figuring out how things operate and how things work. She never was short on questions. She's the perfect student that you want to teach.
She also had this depth to her of creativity and thoughtfulness that was truly unique for an 8th grader. She was a very gifted writer and truly one of the most interesting students I've ever taught in many ways.
She just loved every year of it. It's hard to explain because I know I went through public school for the first 2 years with the first two kids, and the difference I seen on them and her was very different. Like, she got more out of being here, and everybody was so welcoming. It's like, you come here, you're a family. She would go home and do her recitations or do her little Bible verses. And it was just so cute because she did them with passion. I would record her all the time because she just loved to read.
Philippians 4:4-8. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again. Rejoice! Do not be anxious about anything.
I didn't really know what I was going to do after WDCS. I just thought I was going to probably go to like the neighboring public school because that was like the only thing I knew. Like, I didn't really know about high school or even college. I was like so far out of reach. And Mr. Morrill, he kind of introduced me to TCA, and that was like overwhelming, but I was like, okay, like he knows about this school, so I'll just like sign up. And so then I came here, and it was a culture shock at TCA because it was like different ethnicities of people that you would see. But now I'm here, and like I have like people that I can trust and people like who I hang out with like outside of school, which is like really nice.
She was in my class, her 10th grade year, and the very first day of class, I asked them what their passion is, and she told me that her passion was travel, but she hadn't been anywhere but one day. And I happened to be in charge of the Europe trip, and so I just thought to myself,
I don't think I ever would have gone outside the United States because like that's financially like really difficult unless you have like a lot of money. And she was like, okay, let's like kind of get you looking at if you would want to do this or not. And so I eventually did it. I went to the Europe trip last year. It was to Italy and Greece, and it was like so eye-opening, and it was so fun. And like if I could go back, I would. If I could like redo the trip, I would.
The very first day, right out of the chute, we go to Athens, and we're at the Parthenon. And so I found her, and we just sat there kind of without words because I'm sure I was tearing up. And I just reminded her, this is just the favor of God in your life. You know, this opportunity, who knows how that will change that child's life.
There's so much more that needs to be seen out there, and there's so much more that needs to be lived, and there's so much more people you need to meet. Like, now I kind of like try to look at everybody and see their faces because on every face there's like a story.
That's what I see in Anne Marie. She has the ability to actually see people, but she also goes beyond. And I mean, you think about what that child can do for the kingdom of God by having a view that goes beyond just Dallas or beyond just West Dallas.
I think it's a privilege and an honor to give to West Dallas for many reasons. You are contributing to the adulthood of a lot of our students. As a student here many, many years ago, I even recognized that without a place like West Dallas, opportunities and doors wouldn't have opened for me for high school, for college, going forward. But it was really formative for me, from friendships to relationships to family to goals in life. A lot of that is rooted in West Dallas. And then just knowing that you are contributing not just to a student, but to a family as well.
So many of our students and families are coming from backgrounds where they may have not ever had a family member go to college, or they may face generational trauma or generational poverty that creates problems that are so difficult to overcome with one-off solutions. At West Dallas, what we are doing is offering a solution that is 10 years every day of a lot of our students' lives, that builds into them the opportunity and ability to open doors that they would never have opened before.